Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to my channel, going through my grandfather's pocket knives. I've been away for, I don't know how long it was, a week and a half, 2 weeks. Went on vacation with the family, but now I'm back into the swing of things, back into the grind, and here I am. So, next one on the pile of knives I got from my grandfather is this George Schrade stainless steel hunting and fishing knife. So this is a neat knife. They all are neat, of course, but some are neater than others, and this one's a pretty cool one. You know, I have this sitting out, and when I was looking at it, I was like, oh, that's pretty nice and everything. And then I did some research, aka Googled it, and found that these are actually relatively popular, interesting pocket knives in the pocket knife world. I came across a video that Tobias Gibson had done. He had, so he goes in the history of it, and he has like 3 of these knives. So pretty much everything I'm going to tell you has already been told by Mr. Gibson, so I'm going to put a link to his video if you haven't already seen it, or if you're more interested in seeing stuff about these knives. But yeah, it's just kind of interesting. One of the things with my grandfather's knives is, if you long-time watchers of the channel know that I ended up with my grandfather's pocket knives in just 3 tubs of knives, just put into tubs, nothing, not really sorted or labeled or anything. I mean, they were, but weren't. Anyways, so a knife like this is just sort of in a gathering of pocket knives. And so when I pull these out and I look them up and I see that they're pretty popular in the pocket knife world, it's always kind of a pleasant surprise. This particular one seems like it was made in sometime between 1910 and 1940s. And then most people put they were making these mostly in the 1920s. So of course that would put this in the 100-year-old range. And it's held up really nice. It's obviously it's a hunting fishing knife. It's got this cool engraving with the moose and the marlin or sailfish, whatever you want to call it, on this side. And then it has a locking mechanism, so if it's pushed forward, this blade won't come out. If you slide it back, it will. So it's a single blade with a half stop. Stainless steel, as you can see, and then there's George Schrade's tang stamp out of Bridgeport, Connecticut. And it's in really nice shape, stainless steel. As I understand it, this has not been sharpened down very much. It comes it's with this swell, so it's not like it's been sharpened down. So this blade is pretty pristine. It has been sharpened a little bit, and obviously this blade has been used, but not too bad. So it's got the back lock. When you slide it forward, you can't push it back anymore. It's all steel, of course. No scales on it, and it's just one kind of wraparound bent cover that comes up on the side, and it's held together by these 2 pins. Got a decent enough nail mick in there. These things are for fish scaling on the back, to take off the fish scales, and it's in really nice shape. It's real easy to open and close. Got a half stop there and a nice snap to it. There's nothing wrong with it's got a little bit of a thing going on there with the lanyard hole, but nothing too bad. One thing I didn't go down the rabbit hole too far on, is apparently this is kind of a replica of a Duke. I don't know what a Duke pocket knife is. I kind of looked it up and didn't find anything. But it's sort of a modification of that. I guess there was a Duke knife, and then George Schrade added the lock back on here. So that was kind of his innovation. But yeah, so So this was stopped making these, I guess, in 1940. It's been replicated since then by a couple of companies. In the 1960s and 70s, a Scotch line and a Cousin Willie's was made, and they replicated this brand starting in the 60s. And those were made in Japan, and they were okay knives, but not quite as nice, not quite as refined and nice as this one, as usually is the case. And yeah, so this is it's a pretty cool knife. I would consider using it. I've mentioned before, I don't really have like an everyday carry knife that I'm walking around in my pocket with. I work from home. I don't have a lot of cause to cut a lot of stuff. Every once in a while I'll stick my hand in the pile of knives and grab one and open up a Amazon box or something like that. I have been lately going out in nature more. I've been doing more and more hiking. When I was younger, my father would take me out camping and hiking, and I never went camping, or I did go out a couple times. We had picnics in the mountains with my grandfather, but nothing too extraordinary. We would go on sort of nature walks every once in a while. But the reason I mention that is, like, if I do have a pocket knife that I bring with me. Lately, I've been going out on short hikes, and whenever you're out in nature, it's a good idea to have a knife. You never know when you might need a knife. So this is a good candidate for me to take with me, although I probably won't, only because I just have a hard time wanting to EDC a 1920s pocket knife. For a couple of reasons. One, I'm a rather modern guy, and I'm liking the modern knives. And two, I would be very, very concerned about losing something like this. I think this is a super neat pocket knife. But with that said, if I was going to take one of these knives out there with me, this is a really good candidate for it. It's a really solid knife. I like the lock, so you don't slam it down your fingers like a slip joint. It's got really good length to it, and it's very useful, and it's just a well-built pocket knife. So there you go. Come on, put this in there. So we'll see. These don't go for like hundreds of dollars, but they go for a decent amount. People tend to like to collect these guys, and I can see why. So there you go. George Schrade. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Welcome back, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.